Cozy Friday, Cozy Friday, Cozy Friday, Cozy Friday, Cozy Friday, Cozy Friday. I'm going to call some people to the front of the class. If you're 40 and over, come to the front of the class. If you're under 40, excuse us a bit. You can sit at the back of the class for this one. Cozy Friday, Cozy Friday. How are you feeling, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night to my Destiny family, my Destiny's angels, and my Destiny squad. I hope that you are doing really, really well because of the topic that we are about to talk to. Okay, so I was just waiting for those 40s and over to come to the front of the class. Okay, it seems as if we are all in place. So here we go. Did you know, which I know that you know, that your pension contribution actually comes from your salary? So what am I saying? Let's rephrase that. As in the case of the UK and in some places, did you know that if you are not working, you do not have a state pension to collect? Did you know that? Did you know that a lot of us who are currently working, that if we don't plan properly, we could retire broke? So in this video, we are going to talk about pension, and it is how to actually plan for your pension. Because you know that a lot of people are actually living longer. So first time they used to talk about 3 score years and 10 that people have to live. Nowadays, people are living much, much longer. And because of that, people, we have to plan for our retirement if we don't want to join a lot of people who are already retired and they are talking about being broke because what they are seeing now was not what they envisioned that their retirement would be. And that is why we have to plan for our retirement. So, yes, if you remember, I say that, look, your pension that everybody is talking about is something, it's a contribution that is made from your salary. In the UK, it is known as national insurance, and perhaps that is what it is called in other countries as well, whereby a certain amount of money is a compulsory payment. A certain amount of money is actually taken from your account. So along with income tax, you actually have national insurance that the employer is obligated to take from your account, to take from your salary before the money gets to you. So that's one of the deductions. So what does it mean if you are not working? Because we know that some people actually, we have quite a number of people who actually live on social welfare. In the UK, social welfare, if you are claiming social welfare, just know that when you get to pension age, everything will change for you, just like it will change for everybody else when they get to the pension age. So if you are not working and therefore wasn't contributing to national insurance, you are going to get what is known as pensions credit. Now, people, it's very important that you understand how this works because you have to look at it and perhaps you have never thought about it before today, you never thought about your retirement, what would happen. Perhaps you were thinking that you would just live in the now. But no matter what, you have to look at it. the money that you're earning now, the amount of money that you have access to now is going to be reduced significantly in some cases when you retire. So the purpose of this video is actually for you to at least start thinking about retirement, start having conversations that you actually need to be having. And if you notice, I said people 40 and over to come to the front of the class. It doesn't mean that people who are under 40 will not need to start thinking about their retirement. It means that you actually have a little longer time to put things in place to actually prepare for your retirement. But those 40 and over, look, you probably don't know the full extent. And if yours is a bit more urgent, for you to actually start doing the planning so that everything will be in place when you actually get to the time of retirement. And so that is why you are at the front of the class. Now, in some countries, the retirement age is set, and whereby it doesn't matter, once you get to that age, you need to stop working. Now, that used to be the case in the UK because prior to, let me see, 2010, prior to 2010, the retirement age was 60, but then it gradually started to increase where until it got to 65. And then what happened, people? Then the government came up with a system where they actually started calculating how much money you need to have in the national insurance pot in order for you to retire and qualify for the full amount of the state pension. So what do you think happened gradually between 2010 and 2019? What happened was that the government started calculating, you can access it, you can get the information, right? Started calculating your predicted retirement age based on the amount of money that you need to have in the pot. And I can tell you that I've already checked mine out. And actually, based on the contribution that is there, I have been told that I need to be working up to the age of 67 if I am to access the full state pension. Now, some people would say, I don't want to know about it. For me, it was very important that I check out and know exactly, what plans I need to put into place. So what does that knowledge help me to know? First, a knowledge of that where I'm told that, okay, I need to be working up to the age of 67 before I can access, if I want to access the full amount of the state pension. Now, that helps me to plan, one, either to forfeit the full state pension, the full amount that I would be entitled to forfeit it and stop working before 67? Or do I want to work up to 67 in order to access the full state pension? So a knowledge of that, guys, tells you the plans that you need to put in place. It helps you with the decisions that you actually need to make as well. So I have checked mine out. And of course, I know what decision, what plans I have to put in place. And I already know the decision that I am going to make. I'm not necessarily going to share it with you, but just say, look here, I'm going to retire before 67. Because just like I'm telling you that you need to put certain plans in place already, I am not waiting until I get up to age near to 60, near to retire, and then I start putting plans in place. I am putting plans in place from before so that I know exactly at what age I'm going to start doing what. And by God's help, then I'll be able to retire ahead before I hit 67. Because to be honest with you, when I get to 67, I don't want to be working. I want to be having fun. I want to be giving as much trouble as possible. I want to be traveling the world. I want to be annoying my children. I want to be playing with my grandchildren. Not to have them live with me. Oh no, I have grown up my children. I have raised them already. So I'm not talking about having the grandchildren around. I'm talking about them coming over, to spend a little time because I'll be traveling the world, so I will not have time to be taking care of grandchildren, right? And of course, I know that if my children, when they're watching this video, that they'll be laughing because they know that I keep telling them that I'm not going to sit and take care of any grandchildren. Yes, I'm going to spoil the grandchildren, but in terms of being a glorified babysitter for the grandkids, that's not me. I'm not going to be that kind of grandmother any at all. I'm going to travel and give people trouble. That's what I am going to do. Okay, so what do you need to do? Everybody, if in your country, you need to now check out, see exactly what type of pension is operates in your country. Is it a fixed one where, for example, when you get to 60, you know that you have to retire because that's the retirement age, and you have access to the full amount of state pension? Or is it like in the UK, where in order for you to access the full state pension, then they you can have it work out for you? So HMRC, the tax office, is the first place where you can actually get that kind of information. At least they will point you in the right direction as well. If you live in the UK and you want to know exactly, at what age is the recommended age for you to retire in order for you to access the full state pension. Now, no matter if you're working or not working, you will still be able to access the pensions credit alongside the state pension. So remember, only people who are working, when they retire, they will have a state pension. But if they actually need other kind of benefits to top it up, like housing will still continue to be paid. Council tax will still continue to be paid. It's just that amount to live on that is going to be affected. So if you are claiming welfare, like I've said, and you get to and you have to start claiming pensions credit based on your age, I can tell you the amount of money that you will get at that age. So let me look for it because I actually did the research and I know exactly how much you will get when you actually retire. So let me have a look and see what it is. It is 14 pounds something, but I want to get the exact amount before I actually, because I want to tell you the exact figure that you will be entitled to when you actually get to that age. So let me see. Oh, sorry. Well, there's nothing to apologize about. Okay, so here it is. So if pension credit is £14 48 per week for a single person and £16 20 if for a couple. So that is what the pensions credit is for those people. Okay. So can you actually pay national insurance if you are not working or if you are self-employed? Yes, that can be arranged. the first line of contact for you to actually, get enough information, get the information that is needed for you to get the ball rolling. If you are living in the UK, the Citizens Advice Bureau is always your first port of call where they can give you the necessary information. If you live in other countries, you can look up for your for under it comes under the Ministry of Labor. You'll be able to get sorry, information as to what you can do if you are not working or if you are self-employed, if you can still pay and how you can actually pay into the national insurance scheme. As a matter of fact, remember I'm saying that the pension amount, the state pension is not a lot. In 2012, in the UK, the government came in with a system that is known as private pension. So the private pension fund is another compulsory payment that is deducted, compulsory deduction from your salary, where because we know that the pension is not enough, people are living longer, people are retiring to a life of poverty. To cushion that, the government actually make it compulsory for people to, alongside paying their national insurance that is going towards the state pension, their employer have to pay into a private pension fund as well. So in the UK, everybody, working people, will have access to a private pension alongside their state pension. Now, this tells you, people, that everybody needs to make a pension plan. That is very, very important. As a matter of fact, Usain Bolt actually had it right. If you remember the money that he lost, the 12 million US pounds that he invested into the private in the financial institution, we heard that the money, or allegedly, that money was for his retirement. So that tells you that some people actually start thinking about their retirement, and actually they have started the planning process early. Now, if you have not, or you have never thought about your pension or retirement, remember it is time for you to start, because your standard of life, the money that you have, your lifestyle could drastically change. And if you don't have the plans in place, right, then you could find that you retire to a life of poverty. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you some of the things that you need to put in your pension plan, because you actually need to start your pension plan. Now, like I've said, the purpose of this video is for to at least start a conversation. I'm sorry, I said pension plan. It's actually retirement plan. So you have to start now planning for your retirement. And these are 10 things that you need to include in planning for your retirement. One is to understand your options. Remember, I was saying that in some countries, the state pension, in order to access the full state pension, you must have paid a certain amount into the pension fund, and that you're able to access that information. So that is your option. You should know exactly what is going on. Number two, work out what your pension could be. So get the information, know exactly how much your pension will be, when you retire. Three, picture your future lifestyle and income needs. Four, review your spending habits and change if necessary. So if you realize that, look, I need to start saving, which is everybody, because we all need to save for our retirement. So if you note, if you have, after you have gone through everything, study your lifestyle, see what your life could be when you retire in terms of the income. If you need to make changes, guys, then you need to start making those changes very soon. Number 5, decide if your home will play a part. Because in some cases, guys, you will need to downsize. So in planning for your retirement, you need to start thinking, okay, as I go along, will I be thinking of downsizing? What will I do? Will I probably be renting out a room to have some income coming? And if that's the route that you're going to go, then of course you need to start be planning. What do I need to start putting in place to ensure that when that time comes, I have everything in place? Check your entitlements from the state or the government. Explore the options for providing for others. So, a lot of us, if you have been taking care of somebody, you know that when you retire, you are going to have less money coming in. So at least you need to start now be thinking, okay, how am I going to get that amount of that money for, if I was taking care of somebody? What do I need to start doing? Do I need to start be having conversations with those people? Or do I need to be thinking of a plan now so that I can continue making my contributions? 7, explore the options. Okay, sorry, I've said that already. 8, boost your pension pot. Get financial advice is number 9, or independent guidance. And 10, see if you can take out your pension early and invest if necessary. Gone are the days, people. We used to say that your children are your old age pension. That was a saying in Jamaica. Look, guys, things have changed, times have changed. Your children, my children, your children are not your old age pension. You need and I need to start planning for retirement because we know that life is hard all over. So they will have their family as well, right, to take care of. So put things in place so that you will be able to continue taking care of yourself as well when you get to that age. So, like I've said, it is just for you now to start thinking. It's not like all the solutions are going to be in this video. It is for you to now start saying, okay, what do I need to do? At least start having conversations from now. In the UK, if you remember, I said that there's like a private pension fund that people actually pay into, which is separate from the state pension fund that is paid in through your national insurance. Now, the rule in the UK is that you can access some of the money that you have in your private pension at the age of 55. Very important for you to know. So, how does it work? When you get to the age of 55, the law says that you can have 25% of the money that you have in your private pension fund as one lump sum amount. So 25% of whatever is there, you can access that, get that amount of money paid to you in a lump sum. Now, I'm not going to go around the bush. I am going to share some of what I plan to do. So when I get to the age of 55, I am going to access some of my money. Now, some people decide, remember I said that you have to start planning from now. So some people will choose to go into investment as a part of the planning process going into retirement. Some people will now leave after this video. Some people will need to start having honest discussions with their children on the way forward. And some people will be increasing their savings, and some people will be downsizing. So after you have worked out your plan, what do you need to do? Are you going to invest? Are you going to now downsize? Are you going to start having honest conversations with your children? Are you going to work things going forward? For me, I know that when I get to 55, I am getting my 25% and I am going to invest that money, right? That option is not necessarily going to be the best for everybody. But for me, I'm planning, I'm working so that I know that by the time I get to retirement or by the time I get to the age that I want to stop working, full time, then of course I will have things in place already. I'm going to suggest that everybody, even though I say 40 to come to the front of the class and others behind, this is something for everybody to be thinking about. You need to start planning for your retirement. Think of the option that is best for you. Now, it doesn't mean that immediately you're going to actually start the action right away. What you're going to start, at least the planning process. Have a little blueprint. By the time I get to this age, this is what I am going to start doing, right? Working into my planning for the retirement. Just set some little mini goals as you go along. For me, I knew. Okay, so let me share a bit with you. My profession is teaching, right? I was teaching in Jamaica. When I came to the UK, I was teaching as well. But I made the conscious decision that I wanted to go out of teaching, go into the office, do my office job. And I did that for 10 years. So already from back then, I had already planned that when I get to a certain age, I was going to go back into the classroom. That is me telling you that, look, I had planned it, my steps right out, right along, where I knew exactly by what age, the little mini steps. Now, if you are able, guys, it's not too late, right? And of course, remember that you can make plans, and of course, anything can happen to actually derail those plans, right? But at least you need to start because of the saying that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So it's never too late. If you realize that, okay, you get to a certain age and you have never thought about retirement, at least this video should prompt you to actually start the conversation, see what you can do to actually prepare, put plans in place as you travel, into retirement. The plans for some people, like I've said, some people is investment, making the money work for them, right? You should know what route you want to take. Remember the options. If you have a spare bedroom, remember you could think about using that as an investment as well, where you know that by the time you get to a certain age, when you retire, you're going to rent out that room, and that room could be a form of income to subsidize the state pension that you'll be getting. And in the case of the UK, alongside the private pension that you will also be getting. So I hope that this video will truly, enable you to at least start the conversation. As as you need to remember, you need to know about what you will be entitled to in your country. Go and find out, know your retirement age, what amount of money will you be getting into when you into retirement, and then you start What are your entitlements? And then you start putting plans in place. In some cases, you will need like a professional person to actually help you with your planning, your retirement plan based on the resources that you have in place. In some cases, you need to start having conversations because, some children are savvy and they can help you with your investment, help you with the planning process as well. Because remember that your retirement will also affect your children. So you need to start having conversations, serious, meaningful conversations as well. So I really hope that you will start the conversation, guys. Thank you so much for actually watching this video. And please start planning for your retirement if you don't want to retire to a life of poverty. Too many people are having that, guys. Your children are not responsible for you. Those are gone days. Days are in the past. My children, your children at our age, no, they should not be, you should not be thinking along the line that they should be taking care of you in your retirement. You start the planning process and start it now. Thank you, guys. Bye. Bye.